morning, students. I've debated on whether or not I want to tell you this or not. I need some dark courage here. Ooh, gotta open it first. Ooh, that's good. I'm not sure after today Brugger's is going to want to sponsor me. So, you want to know how to cheat on the New York State Algebra 2 Regents Exam in Trigonometry and Algebra 2, huh? All right, I got it. Been doing this for 20 years. I finally figured it out, and I'm sharing it with you. Only people that watch my videos are going to know this, but I don't want you to, don't rat me out. I'm going to put this on YouTube, but hopefully nobody from New York State Ed will find out because I could lose my job. All right, here it is. What you're going to want to do, it's kind of complicated. It's actually kind of tough, but you can do it. I know you can do it. All right, you ready? Here it is. Study! You need to study mathematics. There's no way to cheat on the Regents exam. What are you, crazy? Are you kidding me? They take that test, they lock it up in a vault, then they lock it up in this box. Oh, and they lock it up in a box with a lock on it, and a big box of metal and plastic, and then they ship it secure, and then it goes into a vault. You ain't cheating on that test. No way. You got to study. That involves going to class. That involves asking questions, doing the problems, not just coming here to cheat on my problems. You got to study. Put your brain to it. Get frustrated. Get a little pissed off. Get a little upset. And then study some more. Now, I've posted some flashcards, MrKrausemath.com. There's a video right there on the front that tells you how to get to my flashcards. You can get my flashcards. There's a little over 200 of them now. There'll be a few more today, maybe tomorrow. That'll help. That'll help. You know that feeling? You know that feeling I'm talking about. You know, when you look at a problem, you're like, I know how to do that problem. And you're all excited and you just do it and you're like, wow, I got it. That's called studying. Now, you can study all day long. Sometimes you're going to run into a problem and you're like, no, don't know how to do it. But perhaps if you study those flashcards, one, you'll have a lot of more, aha, I got it, I know how to do it. But two, you'll probably have some ideas on how you might want to start the problem. So study the flashcards. They're free. They're on studyblue.com. They're free to anybody. All you got to do is download the app, I think. Yeah, just download the app. Put the flashcards on there. There's a video on how to do all that. And start studying. But since you're here, I do have some things I do want to share with you about how you can. I thought it'd be kind of remiss of me not to at least help you learn something about how you can make your life easier on that New York State Regents exam on problems you just may not know how to do. Or you just want to check your answers, because I highly recommend checking your answers. If you're in my class, I always ask the kids, would you bet your life on that problem? Which means, did you check your answer? Do you know for certain that you got that question right? 100%. I'm going to go through approximately 20 questions. All 20 of these questions require no understanding of anything except perhaps how to use your calculator to do this. Now, I'm going to be using the TI Inspire, but all of this can be done using the TI 84 as well. If you look in the bottom left-hand corner of the TI 84, there is a stow button down there. There's a stow button down there. If you don't have the calculator I'm using today, you could always go purchase one and then get pre-approval. You might have to give it to your school the night before so they can clear it for you. Get pre-approval to use that calculator on the test. But it's a great calculator. Okay, let's get started. Okay, you came to cheat. I'm going to teach you how to get by some problems you may not have remembered or may have forgotten how to do. Let's see if I can do this using split screen somehow. I know I got a big bald head in the way, so I'm probably going to have to shrink that. Banana. Oh, banana. All right, so here's how you go. We're going to do it. It's going to take a few minutes. You can fast forward if you don't like. All right, so the question here is, what's this equivalent to? Now, I'm going to tell you what all the answers are ahead, so I don't have to check them all. But I may check a couple of them at the beginning, but then I'll stop doing that. You have to understand that if you have a negative exponent, as I have right here, which is right here. No, not right there. Oh, great. I hit the wrong button. All right. This negative exponent has nothing to do with being negative. I am 100% certain that these two answers are not correct. It has nothing to do with being negative. It has everything to do with making this into a fraction. And since this entire thing is being raised to the negative 4 exponent, the whole thing is, what that does is it takes it and puts it the whole thing down here. So this is the right answer. But let's say you don't remember how to do it. You're like, dude, seriously? I came here to cheat. I came here to cheat a lot, and I don't remember, I don't know how to do that problem, so can you show me something to do? Okay, sure, no problem. Take any number. Like, for example, since it's a calculator, it makes no difference. How about 4.2? And we're going to store this into a variable called x. I should bring up a picture. I'm going to do one thing real quick. Image. You can fast forward if you don't want to watch this. Image of can't see my keys. 84 plus. So let's go look at images. If you're using this calculator, you can do the same thing. Why aren't you big? Oh, good. It takes me to Amazon so I can purchase one. I just want a big picture of it. All right. Down here is the stow button. So for you, it's actually a little bit less strokes. What you do is you hit like 8 or 4.2, stow, and then right here is the X button. And you can do this exact same thing. So 4.2, and then hit this stow button right here, and then hit X, because it's the variable X up here. And then you can do the same thing. Now, if you need multiple variables, then you're going to have to do like 4.2, stow, and then in green above all these are alpha letters. So you can just go alpha A or alpha B or alpha C or alpha D. I think you get the picture. So, and you can store any number into any letter, which is helpful. All right, so I got that stored in there. And so now I'm going to type in, oh, I should be using A. You don't like the fact that I used X? Okay, let me use A. Control var. For these using the 84 plus, you'd have to do stow alpha A. I got to do control var A or whatever. All right, so there it is. And I'm going to parentheses. Of course, you got to use parentheses. 2A parentheses raised to the negative 4. Enter. What is that? Well, let's say I was down between 2, in between 2 and, okay, I'm not sure what happened to my screen here. Everything just left me. That whole thing just left me. Wonder why. Let me see if I can do this. Bam. Computer issues. All right. Let's say I was between 2 and 4. So let me put in 2 first. 16 over a to the 4th. So control division. 16 over a raised to the 4th. Nope, that ain't it. So let's try control division 1 over... I remember Mr. Krause telling me it has nothing to do with being negative, so let me try this one. 16a raised to the 4th. Oh, look, same obnoxious answer. Done. Ka-chang. All right, look at the next problem. By the way, this sheet should be right next to this video, so you can download this sheet and practice this on your own if you'd like. What? So if you guys are doing this problem, what you would have to do is, why can I never find my mouse? There it is. The first thing you have to do is plug this 1 in here, and you would get 1 minus n squared. And then plug a 2 in, so then you get 2 minus n squared. And then you would get 3 minus n squared. And then you get 4 minus n squared. Oops, n squared. And then each of those you would have to double distribute and then clean all up, which really is not a lot of work. It's not very difficult work. We're going to cheat. Now, every calculator's got this E function. I don't remember if you've got the 84. I think, did I close that window? If you got this button, it's I think it's either alpha or second, and then one of these buttons. I think it's alpha, and you have to go into the functions list. You got to have the new operating systems, but I think if you just go into alpha, and I think it might be this middle one right here. It's one of these two, I think. This feature's in there. For us, we just go into this crazy button and click on the summation. So I already have 4.2 stored into A, and I'm going to use A here anyway. Oh, did y'all notice I did this problem wrong? If I go back over to here, if I go back onto this, I should have been putting in numbers for A should be 4.2 or whatever I want it to be. This should be A. Right here, just A, whatever A is, but I should be taking these numbers and plugging them in advance. So it should be A minus 1. Notice there's A's in the answer. A minus 1 squared, A minus 2 squared, A minus 3 squared, A minus 4 squared. Sorry, brain fart. It's early. Ooh, need a little bit more coffee. What did I tell you to do to cheat? Study, and don't drink coffee. It stunts your growth. I think I'm getting shorter the more coffee I drink. To that, I'm just getting old. No ball jokes. All right, so I don't know where my thing is, so let's go right there. N 1. Go up here. It was a 4, I believe. And down here I have A. I don't remember what it was. Minus N. And I hit enter. 6.8. Huh? Well, if I did this correctly, one of these answers should be 6.8. So since I have to double distribute, I'm going to guess it's either 2 or 3. Or I'm just going to guess it's either 3 or 4. The answer's 4. But we're going to check 2 first, or 3 first. So we're going to type in 2a squared, 2a squared, minus 10a plus 17. Minus 10a plus 17. Nope. 4a minus 20 plus 30. 4a squared minus 20a plus 30. It was plus 30, right? 6.8. Did you notice I am clearly haven't had enough coffee today? What did I forget here? Oh yeah, the squared. Nope, not that squared. That's a big problem right there. Don't want to do that. Squared's got to go on. Yeah. Let's just do it again. Put it in. And because you got to put this in the right way, otherwise it doesn't work. And squareds make all kinds of problems. So we're going to go up to 4. Going to come over here. And then I actually have to start a new set of parentheses because I'm going to end up squaring it. And if I put the square on the outside, it just will not work. So this is a minus n. And then on the outside, just put a squared. And I should get 6.8 or 16.56. Perfect. Yay. 2 for 2. I went through a test the other day with my class. I think we got through like the first 8 out of the 9 questions could be done using a calculator only. If you were to solve question 3, you know what you'd find out? You'd find out that both 2 and 4, 2 and 4 or negative 2 and negative 4 are solutions to this. Whether or not they work, I don't know. You got to remember that you have to check your answers. So let's take let's take, what do we got? X's, right? So let's take, we'll take the -2. -2, control var x, and hit enter. And then we got to type in the square root of 2x minus 4. Square root of 2x minus 4. Hit enter. That's a problem. That would be imaginary, so that's not going to work. And just for fun, I'm just going to put in x minus 2 right now. So this problem, clearly that doesn't work. X minus 2. This would be -4. So now let's try 2 control var x. And I'm just going to store 2. I tried this -2. It crashed it. It says it's imaginary. What happens is I have a negative number under a radical, so it becomes imaginary. So now I'm going to try +2. Come up here, I hit this, enter, enter, 0. And I don't really need to do this, but I do this, enter, enter, 0. 2 works. But I have to check to see if 4 works. You have to check them both. Just because 2 works doesn't mean 4 doesn't work. Oh, or does it? Oh, wait. Looks like 4 doesn't work. But let's just see. Or 4 does work. But let's just see. I don't know. 4 may not work. 4 may work. Control var x. And hit enter. Just check. 2. And of course, 4 minus 2 is 2. So both of them do work. That doesn't happen a lot. Oftentimes one will work and the other one will not. I don't know why I'm having such issues with Microsoft 1 today. Let's just do it as, make it, refresh it. Oh, look, it's back. Okay, so that answers choice. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take the product of these two things. So that I don't have to do any storing. I just have to type it in. So it's 3 plus 3 minus. So 3 plus radical 5. 3 minus radical 5. Enter. 4. Huh. Oh. Done. Problem's over with. How about this one? 2i squared plus 3i cubed. Huh. That's weird. I don't remember what I is. For those of you who don't remember what I is, you got to go through the i's. I to the 1 is just I. I squared is -1. And then every other one is just a negation of the one before it, of the one, every other one before it. So I cubed is just the negation of this, -I. I to the 4th is just the negation of this, it's +1. And then we start over again. 5, 6, 7, 8. Start over again. But let's say you're sitting there on June 19th and you're going, well, I remember Mr. So-and-so and such, whoever your teacher is, or Mrs. Mrs. So-and-so said something. I don't remember what she said, though. I just don't remember. And then Mr. Krause said, ooh, you can always use your calculator. Maybe I can use that here. Maybe. Let's try that. We're going to type in 2. And down here in this pi button, there's an I button. I'm not sure if there's an I button on that 84 plus. I'm pretty sure there is. 2i squared plus 3i cubed. -2 minus 3i. Got it. There it is. -2 minus 3i. Done. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. All right, I'm not sure why I showed up there. Having all kinds of problems. All right, so this one here, the right way to do this one, is to convert both the 9 down to 3 squared and the 27 to 3 cubed, and then just rewrite the exponents. 3x plus 1 and x plus 2. But let's say you forget how to do that. Let's say you just have forgotten that. Okay. 4.1 control var x. Don't pick anything normal. The calculator does all the math for you. Don't pick 1 or 0 ever. And then we'll just type these in. 9 raised to the 3x plus 1. Enter. By the way, I know I just put 4.1 in for x. That was just stupid because I actually have to use the answers that were given in this case. If you're going to put something in, you can put whatever you want in, but in this case I have to use the answers. X plus 2. So clearly 4 point whatever is not the right answer. So I'm going to have to go over here and figure out, let's see. I believe the answer for this one was 4/3. By the way, generally it's a good idea if you're going to do this to pick the last answer to try it first. So control division, it just somehow always seems to be the last answer. If they know you can do this, they somehow always pick the last answer. So I'll do 4/3 and stow that into x. And then I'll go up here and hit enter and enter. And then that's the left side. I know this feature of this calculator has an equal sign in it. We'll test it. Don't do that. Put the left side in, put the right side in, and verify that they in fact equal each other. Okay. All right, so let me show you real quick how to do this problem because it's actually quite quick to do it the correct way, and we would hope as math teachers that you will remember this. But w to the 9th goes, since it's negative, goes up, and w to the negative 5th goes down. So really what you have here is w to the 9th over w to the 5th, which just reduces to w to the 4th. But we still have this 1/2 exponent. If you remember correctly, 1/2 exponent is really just a square root. So you're really taking the square root of w squared, or w to the 4th, which is just w squared. So the answer is 2. But you're sitting on the test day and going, I don't remember none of that stuff, Mr. Krause. I just don't remember none of that there stuff. So I'm going to take 4.3 and stow it into w. W, control bar, I don't know what I just hit, escape, control bar W. For some reason I say W wrong. I sound like a country hick. I've been from New York most of my life, except when I was in the Army. All right, so we do control division, and I think it was W raised to the -5 all over W raised to the -9. I believe that was the right answer. Some weird answer. I was right. And then we're going to try w squared, which is not going to work. Oh, I forgot the square root. See, you know, all this stuff requires you to actually be halfway intelligent. But I'm not going to do square root. I'm just going to use parentheses and then raised to the 1/2 power. Now, it would have been easy to put a square root, so hopefully you know that's the square root. And then I'm going to take w squared. W squared, boom, there's the right answer. Ka-ching. All right, we're almost done. Not really. Now, the reason this problem is particularly nasty, like this was a mean problem, mean problem. All right, so 1, they have the -1 rule because this thing's backwards. So in order to have done this problem, what you would have had to do is do 3y over 2y minus 6 plus, and I want to convert that. I want to change that around 2y minus 6, but since it's backwards, it's really the -1 rule. I like to call it that. So we really have to put a -9 up on top. So you end up with 3y, now they have a common denominator, 3y minus 9 all over 2y minus 6. Or 2y minus 6, not 2y minus 6. Okay. And you're going to think this is the right answer. Lesson number 2 for the day. Check all the answers. Check your work. Make sure you have the right answer. Would you bet your life on it? Let's try. I'm going to store, by the way, the only number you can't store into y is 3. If you stored a 3 in, the denominator would be undefined, so that's not in the domain. That's why you use weird numbers like 4.23, because it makes no difference. Because the calculator does all the hard work. Like if you had to plug 4.23 in there, you'd be like, dude, seriously? I don't even know what to do. But since the calculator does it all for you, you can say, thank you, Mr. Texas Instruments for making me such a fine-looking computer on a screen. So let's just do this. Control division. I don't know what I'm saying because it's kind of early. Wow, it's 6 o'clock. I should be like wide awake by now. 3y over 2y minus 6. Enter. Oops, crap. That's not what I wanted. Enter. Plus, control division. I forgot to put the whole thing in. 9 over 6 minus 2y. 3 halves, or 1.5. I think there's a way to turn that into a fraction. Number, approximate the fraction. Oh, 3 halves. Wait, 3 halves is one of my answers. But I came up with 2y over something. I don't even remember. Now I can't even see it. I came up with this. And you're telling me 3 halves. Wait, maybe let's check a different number. So we'll do negative 5.21 control var. What are we using? Y. Enter. And then we'll go ding, 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 ding. Enter. 1.5 again. That means every single time, no matter what number I put in, is 1.5. See, if you actually did all the math and did this correctly, you would pick this answer. It's wrong. This is the right answer. And the reason it's the right answer is because there's a GCF up here. If you take this answer, and in the numerator you take out a 3, and you got y minus 3. In the denominator you take out a 2, and you got y minus 3. The y minus 3 is cancel, and the only thing you're left with is 3 over 2. So that was a tough question. All right, so this one right here gave my kids a stump. I can't read it, so I'm going to have to find my eraser. Somewhere over the eraser. Hopefully I've got the eraser. Okay, so now we'll come back. We'll do blue. All right, so let's see. If 0 doesn't work, then I can eliminate 4 and 2. So let's try 0. So I'm going to type in the absolute value. That's underneath there. So right there. Oh, wait, hold on. I haven't stored anything yet. Escape. So 0, control var, what are we using here? A. And then we're going to type in absolute values of 4a minus, oops. This video will go a lot faster if I just put in things the right way. Plus 6 minus 4a. If it doesn't equal 10, negative 10, we're done. 6, 0 doesn't work. So that means choice 2 and choice 4 don't work. So now I got to try 1/2. I like putting things in as 0.5, control var, only because I'm lazy. Enter, and then we'll hit the up arrow. Bing, ding, ding, ding. Enter, enter, 6. I believe that would mean that your answer then, since 1/2 does not work, and 0 does not work, this answer is the right answer. Now, for those of you that don't know what that is, that's the same thing as this. It's the empty set. There is no solution. Not going through the math on that one. Too long. This expression is equivalent to. You're not allowed to have radicals in the denominator. And let me show you how you'd normally have to do it. What you'd have to do is you'd have to multiply by the conjugate, 7 minus radical 11. That's the original. I've got the thick pen. Times, and then you have to multiply by the conjugate over itself, which is really just a 1 radical 7. What am I doing? Brugers, you're letting me down today, Brugers. What's going on with you, man? Oh, that's it. I just didn't have enough. So 7 plus radical 11. And then 7 plus radical 11. And then you'd have to distribute and do a whole bunch of stuff. Or I can come here and I can just start typing in control division 1 divided by 7 minus the square root of 11. Enter. And I believe I believe the answer then is 1. So control division 1, 7 plus radical 11 over, I think it's 38. Yep, typed it in right. Choice 1. There it is. Done. Finished. Yay. Move on. All right, these problems actually aren't that difficult. They look difficult. They got all these fractions. Ooh, the F word. Don't say that, Krause. The F word's not allowed to be said. Just kidding, man. Just kidding. You can say the F word. Fraction. Function. Fun. What you got to do is multiply by the lowest common denominator. In this case, the lowest common denominator is C, so we're going to multiply everything through by C. C, senor. Hey, that's my Spanish. Nothing cancels on the first one. I get CA plus. Now here the C's cancel. I could speak German for you if you guys would prefer. My German's not that great though. Ich kann nur ein bisschen Deutsch reden für dich. Aber wenn ich Deutsch reden, wahrscheinlich du kannst mich nicht verstehen. Und das ist nicht gut. So ich soll in nur Englisch reden für dich. Und dann bist du ein Deutscher. Du kannst on my YouTube channel subscribe. Don't know what the word for that is. Und dann vielleicht kann ich in Deutsch ein paar Videos machen für dich. No, whatever. All right, so that's what I get. C. I was screwing around so much, I don't even know if I got the right answer. It looks like it's choice this one. Now, you know what I did with my kid? Oh, no, I didn't. Not this problem. I made a crazy problem. Looks like this is the right answer. Even though it says AC, that's the same as CA. Plus B over CD minus B. So that looks like it's the right answer. I'm teaching all this stuff. Really what I want you to do is use the check to do this. Well, apparently my computer didn't appreciate my German either, which was probably pretty rough. Let me make sure I'm recording right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I think so. Somehow I went through this entire thing and it just crashed on me. So I think where we left off was we needed to check this answer. Or we needed to stow some values in for A, B, C, and D. Oh man, this problem was such a pain too. I just did it like a half an hour ago or 20 minutes ago. Oh my gosh. So, all right. I'm going to tell you right now, I already have numbers stored into A, B, C, and D. At least I think I do. You can always test to see if you have numbers stored in. Of course, that would require everything to be working. Nobody loves me today. A, enter. B, enter. So I have numbers stored in for A, B, and C, and D. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in, God, I cannot tell you what a pain in the neck this is. I'm going to type in this original, and then I'm going to type in the answer we came up with and see if we're right. And then we're going to go through this whole thing again. You're not going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. So if I repeat things, which I'm going to do, never mind. So let's go. Control division. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Why am I? A plus B over C. A plus control division B over C. All over D minus B over C. D minus control division B over C. Hit enter, you get some obnoxious number. Now let me type in the original, or the answer we came up with, AC plus B. By the way, you can't type in AC, you have to type in A times C. Otherwise it thinks AC is a variable. We don't want that. All over CD minus B. C times D minus B. Enter. Same exact obnoxious answer. There it is. All right, so looking at this next problem, it's actually a really simple problem. Of course, we're having issues again. I don't know if, I think I might need a new computer. Maybe I'll use this as an excuse to get a new computer. In order to solve this, final step will be just to take the square root of both sides. And then you get x plus 2 equals plus or minus 3i. Of course, we're taking the square root of a negative, so you get I. And then if I move the 2 over, I get negative 2 plus or minus 3i. which is choice 2. Now, you may not know this, but how would I go about solving this question? Well, it's the same way I do all questions. I'm going to start with the answers, or some of these. I'm going to start with the answers and see if it works in the problem. So I'm going to take negative 2 plus or minus, I'm going to take plus first, 3i. I'm going to store it into x. So 2 plus 3i, and I'm going to stow that into x. And then I'm going to try, parentheses, x plus 2 squared. Can you see what I did wrong? See, if you're going to do this, you got to do it the right way. It wasn't 2 plus 3i. It was negative 2 plus I. I didn't come up with, it was negative 2 plus 3i. By the way, 2 plus 3i was the first answer. Clearly, that did not equal negative 9. So, yeah, that's it. I was just checking the first answer, really. So now I'm checking the second answer. There it is. Hopefully, it's negative 9. Good. And then if I want to, I could check the other answer. But I think this is the only one with negative 2. But we're going to check minus. And hit enter. And then we'll go and we'll check. This one should equal negative 9 as well. There it is. Negative 9, negative 9. Perfect. Just work backwards. Work from the answers and check them. All right. So, do you all remember when you learned how to do, like for the first time, the sine of x equals 30? You know, you like to learn this in 9th grade, and your teacher's like, well, you got to take the inverse sine of both sides, because the inverse sine and the inverse, and then, so take the inverse sine of this sine. Yeah. And then at some point we're like, all right, look, guys, you're going to find an angle. You know, you need to do the inverse sine. And I work with my kids. I say, hey, look, man, you know how when you got a problem like x plus 7 equals 10? And you're like, all right, just move that 7 over by subtracting 7, right? It just goes to the other side, becomes negative 7. It's kind of the same thing you're going to do with sine. Bring the sine over, it just becomes sine negative 1. That's it. So x is equal to sine negative 1 of 30. And you can put that in your calculator and you end up with a half. But let's say I wanted to go backwards. Well, I'd say, okay, I'll bring this back over here, and it becomes sine of x equals 30. So when you move the trig function from one side to the other, it changes signs too. Now, it's not really changing signs. You're really using the function and the inverse function. But that's really all we're doing here. We're going to take this, bring it over here, and you get 5/8 is equal to sine. Now it's going to change. It's negative 1 on this side. So on this side, it's just going to be sine of a. Choice 1. Now you're saying to yourself, but Mr. Krause, I didn't know that. I had no idea. Oh, you didn't? Okay, so let's do it this way then. We'll do sine of 5/8. 5 divided by 8. And we're going to figure out what inverse sine of 5/8. We want to figure out what angle A is. Oh, because inverse sine of 5/8 is angle A. In this case, it's 38.61, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm just going to check the answers. So I found A. I'm just going to check the answers. So answer 1, which is the right answer, by the way, says take sine of the angle. Let's see if it equals 5/8. So sine of this answer. Oh, look. Not 5/8. Or is it? What is 5 divided by 8? Oh, that's also 0.625. So yeah, I got it. Got it. Good. Done. On this question here, you got to be really careful. I'm going to show you how to do it the right way. We're going to multiply by x plus radical x. X plus radical x. Now, I always recommend in the numerator not distributing, but most kids just ignore me. So x plus radical x. I don't know why. And then the denominator, we're just going to multiply the first things together. We get x squared. And because they're conjugates, I don't have to do the outsides and inside stuff with the other part of the double distributing. You can if you want, but they're going to cancel anyway. And then what I'm really going to do is multiply negative radical x times positive radical x. And that's just negative x. And if you do distribute the numerator, because you don't listen to me, you would choose choice 1. Because that seems to be the right answer. But would you bet your life on it? I don't think you would. Not until you've done this. wish I could get rid of whatever this is. So let's do this. I think I have something stored into X. Let me just check real quick. Oh, X. Probably got something stored in. Oh, yeah, I don't want to use that. So let's do 5.2 control var X. Yeah, that's an I don't want that in there. All right, so now we're going to type in the original, which is control division X over X minus radical X. And hit enter. And then I'm going to type in the first answer, control division X squared plus X times radical X all over X squared minus X. And I'm going to be all excited. I got the same exact answer. And you might select that one. But I'm going to tell you right now, kids, if you're going to do this, you got to do this the right way. I got to get rid of whatever this is. Close window. Driving me crazy. All right, so you have to check them all, because if you're going to do it this way, and that even if you do it the right way on this particular problem, you're going to get the wrong answer generally, unless you don't. The answer is 4. And let's check 4. Control division X plus radical X. I can't believe I got rid of the original problem. All over X minus 1. And when you do this, you're going to get the exact same decimal, but in a much more simplified, because right here it says in simplest form. So you have to come up with the most simplest form, and that's choice 4. And if you remember correctly, we had X times X plus radical X all over X squared minus X. Well, can't I take an X out of the denominator? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. When I take an X out of the denominator, notice this X cancels with this X, leaving me this answer. All right. All right. So if you're going to take a logarithm and you're going to expand it, when you have multiplication, it expands to addition. So this becomes log 4 plus log m squared. And then if you remember correctly, exponents come out front. So choice 3 is the right answer. Let's say you forgot. By the way, I'm just going to use, let's see, do I have anything in for m? All right, I have 3.2 in for m. So I'm going to do log, don't put a base. You can put 10 if you want. It's going to put it for me, so I don't have to. 4m squared, hit enter. And then I'm going to do what I think is the right answer, which is log, each of the 4 goes in the right place, there, plus 2 log m. And hopefully we get the same answer, and we do. So it's okay. Good. Got it. Done. Oh, you know what? When I was doing this earlier, I didn't even do 16. Oh my gosh. You know why I didn't do 16? Because it's a pain in the neck. All right, kids. What we got to do on this one is we have to store 3i into x. Then we got to store 2i into y. And then we got to store m plus I in for z. And they want to know what is x, y squared, z. All right, got all that in. Now I just want to do x. Remember, you have to hit times y squared times z. 12 minus 38i. Oops. 38.4i. Stupid thing. All right, now I don't see that. I see 12 minus 12mi, but I don't see 12 minus 38.4i. What's that? Let's just do a 12 minus 12mi is equal to. That's right. Remember, because I put a number in for m. There it is. There's the answer. Yay. This one right here. Look. multiplying fractions is easy. Multiply numerators, multiply denominators. 4/25. These don't have 4/25. Multiply numerators, multiply denominators. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. When you multiply, you add exponents. So choice 1 is the right answer. Had I used my calculator, see if I got something in for x. Oops. So I have crap in for x. So 4.2. Stow that into x. I don't want to end up with imaginary numbers. And 6.2 in for y. And then what I'm going to do is just type this bad boy in. Control division 2 over 5 x minus 3 over 4. Control division 3. I could just put in 0.75, couldn't I? Could have. Y squared, bam, parentheses, control division 2 over 5 x plus control division 3 over 4. I hope you all notice that this is sort of a pain in the neck. You know, this is a great way to check your answers, just to verify that you do in fact have the right answer. But if you're relying solely on this to pass, it's not going to be good for you. You're going to have to do some work. And then I'm going to type in the right answer, which is control division 4 over 25 x squared. Oops, put the x squared in the wrong place. Make sure you got to do that in the right place. X squared. And then minus 9, oops, control division, you don't really need that in that case, 9, but you want to make sure that you're doing this right. And then I think we had y to the 4th, right? There it is, there she is, yay. So that was kind of a pain in the neck to type all that stuff in, I'm not going to lie, but it's a great way to check your answers, great way to check your answers. I believe I skipped a number of questions when I did this last time. I went right to this 19 at the bottom here. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. So let's check somehow. Somehow I'm lost almost. Oh, there it is. Okay. There we go. So exponent. This is an exponent on the outside. What that means really is you have a 1/4 exponent. So this is 16x squared y to the 7th. And then when you have exponents raised to exponents, you have to multiply those. Well, the first thing I have to do is 16 to the 4th power, which I hope you realize is not really a 4, because if it was to the 1/2 power, that would be square root, that would be 4. And then you multiply. 2 times a 4th is a half, x to the 1/2. And then 7 times 4 is just 7 over 4. And that's why the answer is choice 1. But let's check it. I already got stuff in for x and y, so I'm going to do control that 4th root of 16 times x squared. Oops. Squared times y raised to the 7th. That's a great answer. Then I'm going to type in an answer. 2 times x raised to the control division 1. Woo! That's just a sign of having a lot of fun. And then y raised to the control division 7 over 4. But damn! All right. When you're going to condense logarithms, the first thing I always recommend my kids do is return the exponents. So I should have an x squared, and I should have a y cubed. How many of them have x squared, y cubed? Yep. Yep. Nope. Nope. So we're down to 2 choices. Now we're at the 50-50 guess. The other thing you need to remember is when you have subtraction, and this whole thing here is being subtracted, that is division. That reverts back to division when you condense it. So this thing should be on the top. All of this should be on the bottom, which is why choice 1 is the right answer. I have something in, let me make sure I have something in for Z, 2.4, control var Z, because I think I still had something imaginary in. And so I'm going to type the original in, which is 2 log x, 2, this is going to be funky because don't put those, 2 log x, get out of that, minus, parentheses, 3 log, don't worry about that, y, plus, oops. All right, I got to get rid of that plus. There we go. Plus, got to put it in the right way, log z. Hopefully I got that in right. Yep, there we go. That looks good. Now I'm going to type in what I think is the answer, which is control log, control division, x squared. Now, if you didn't know what the answer was, you'd have to check all of the answers, obviously, which is very time consuming. But why not do it if you're stuck and you've got some expertise with the calculator, you might as well try it, see what you come up with. In this case, I knew the answer was that, but I also checked it to make sure I was right. All right, kids, we got one last problem. It's over here somewhere in my calculator. My stupid computer's not allowing me to get to it. All right, so when you have fractions, first of all, hopefully by now you've already remembered that negative exponents have nothing to do with being positive or negative. They make things into a fraction. So it's either got to be this one or it's got to be this one. So now I've taken care of this exponent thing. Now I've got 2/3 as an exponent. And here's my thing. Roots are in the ground. Power up. So roots are in the ground. Power up. So the 3 is the root, 2 is the power or exponent. Root and power. And this is your answer. But you forgot that. So we're going to check it. So we're going to do parentheses 2x minus 1. We're going to do it the right way. X squared minus 1. That was right? X squared minus 1. All right. All raised to the control division, negative 2 over 3. I actually think I have that typed in there right now. And then we're going to try control division 1 over the third root. Oops, I had natural logs. Not helpful. The third root of that thing squared. So parentheses x squared minus 1 squared. Hopefully I get the same decimal. Yay, there it is. That's it, kids. That's all she wrote. Oh, please. Study. Study, 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 study. You can use your calculator as a tool to help you. You can use it as a means to check your answers. But it's not going to get you through the test. It might help you get 1 or 2 more right answers, but it's not going to help you get through the test. You either got to know it or you don't got to know it. It's going to help you, and it should help you check your answers. But if you can't get from step 1 to step 15 and then take those answers and check them, that's tough. It all requires you to study. So use my videos, get the flashcards, MrKrauseMath.com. Go online, go to Mr. Krause, Krause. I think it's down there. .com. No, excuse me, MrKrauseMath.com. Probably a link in the show notes somewhere. Get the flashcards. There's a video for them. There's about 200 and something of them. Study them. The ones you know, you don't have to go back through. Once you got it locked down, you know. How many of y'all know the arithmetic sequence, the formula for the arithmetic sequence? Do you know it off the top of your head? Because if you don't, we got a problem. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. What is that? You don't know? Study. All right, kids. Good luck. Keep working hard. 3 weeks left till the test. There's only 10 days left of school, but there's 3 weeks left till the test. Keep working hard. Okay? You know that feeling when you know the right answer or you know how to do a problem. That requires you to study. Good luck, kids. Let me know if you get 100. Please let me know. And please also hit that subscribe button on the bottom. It doesn't take long, and it helps me out. Thanks, guys. Bye.